Who is the secret power monitoring and governing the world? Is it Elon Musk? Is it Mark Zuckerberg, Lord Nathaniel Rothschild, Robert Iger, Oprah, or the narrator of the Nutty History Channel? For years, people have speculated, gossiped, and theorized about the possibility of a secret world government made up of politicians, corporate magnates, and celebrities that have a huge impact on shaping human history and progress. Let me ask you something. Why do we know nothing concrete about the New World Order or organizations like the Illuminati? Welcome to Nutty History. Today we're diving into the rabbit hole that is the history and secrets of the Illuminati. Or is it all pure fiction?
They're highly secretive. They have knowledge they keep to themselves. They operate clandestinely, and they practice ancient mysterious rituals. They are secret societies.
The greatest trick the devil pulled. Today, the Illuminati is broadly considered a fictitious group that holds the keys of world order and secretly keeps tabs on the policies and actions of the world leaders. This group is often a subject of fantastical debates, what-if scenarios, and a lot of memes, along with some sensational pieces done by certain newsmongers. And of course, there's that song by Madonna. But often, some people take it too far, and the embers of doubts get stoked to become a full-blown dossier of speculative theories. In 2014, when Katy Perry performed Dark Horse with a lot of ancient Egyptian imagery and aesthetics, a news platform covered it with the headline, "Illuminati Priestess Conducts Witchcraft Ceremony in Front of the Entire World." Once considered a wholesome gospel singer, Katy Perry has had her fair share of controversies and rumors in an illustrious career. However, things go to another level with Beatles star Sir Paul McCartney. For 60 years, there has been persistent gossip that the real Paul McCartney was abducted by the Illuminati to replace him with a look-alike Canadian DJ. The doppelganger was trained to sing and behave like Paul. These rumors took flight again a few decades later when once friends Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson disagreed over Michael Jackson buying the rights for the entire Beatles catalog. Now, interestingly, Michael Jackson has been alleged both as a high leader of the Illuminati and also hailed as the one who resisted the temptation to join this mass manipulative group. His untimely death was also purportedly pinned on the Illuminati on internet forums. Now, on the other hand, Paul McCartney never refuted or tried to dismiss the rumors of being a doppelganger. Beyoncé and Rihanna have been hailed as the queen and princess of the secret organization respectively, and Katy Perry, when asked, said if such an organization exists, she would love to get an invitation. Kind of funny that her ex-husband Russell Brand is one of the infamous people who peddle similar controversial theories on the internet and media. And music isn't the only industry that is considered the main base for the Illuminati. Billionaires such as Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Robert Kraft, and the Koch brothers are also often associated with the New World Order, the system of world governance allegedly created by the Illuminati. Of course, politicians like current President Joe Biden, former President Barack Obama, Narendra Modi, Angela Merkel, and Tony Blair have been accused by these theorists of being part of the secret society. But again, these are all rumors. There's no strong evidence that all of these people work collectively for a grand organization that wants to control the entire world, like a puppet. Or is it that they want us to believe? All probabilities add up to the conclusion that if the Illuminati was indeed a real organization, no matter how good they were at keeping secrets, their cover must have been blown by now in this age of information we live in. Plus the fact that nobody really keeps a secret anymore. However, at the same time, one could argue that the clandestine organization deliberately hyperinflates all evidence and clues to make them look ridiculous to keep themselves under the shadows. Well, if an organization has a part in how things work in our society, then it would be powerful to control the narrative in the media about themselves. But then, how do we even know Illuminati is a thing? Because there is a likely scenario that there isn't just one Illuminati, but two.
Are secret societies a hotbed of evil? They are certainly the subject of countless conspiracy theories. They are accused of pursuing a sinister objective, of seeking to rule the world. Perhaps, as many claim, they rule it already.
An elaborate prank or conceited collusion. A secret society by the name of the Illuminati did exist, but that was centuries ago when a German professor, Adam Weishaupt, disgruntled with the influence of religion in a system run by nepotism, decided to challenge the status quo by founding a society in 1776 to inspire the masses towards reason and denounce religion and monarchy. Yet, despite being founded in the Age of Enlightenment, the secret society meant to illuminate the world was quite short-lived. Now, we will talk about their downfall in a bit, but how did an ephemeral failed society become a persistent concern for millions of people over centuries?
Secret societies were also a melting pot for hotheads, for revolutionaries, for people who nurtured highly unusual ideas and who could express themselves within a fraternity without having to suffer persecution. People who could also discuss and try things out, perhaps on a small scale. That was a major motive for joining a secret society.
The organization has maintained its lurking presence in popular culture since its inception in the 18th century. But the 1960s was a defining decade for the secret organization to become the mainstream paranoia as we know it today. The decade of counterculture mania, normalized tripping, and summer of love saw the young generation rebelling against the system. Such a movement required an antagonistic umbrella figure to direct their frustrations, and a small leaflet called Principia Discordia offered them exactly the same, a silhouette to yell at. The leaflet was printed using a Xerox machine by Carrie Thornley under the pseudonym of Ho Chi Zen, who claimed to be the high priest of a new wave religion called Discordianism, dedicated to the Greek goddess of chaos, Eris. They were especially intrigued by the mind's capacity to imagine vast collusions, which helps explain their fascination with the Illuminati. They encouraged the followers of the Discordianism movement to cause civil disobedience through practical jokes and hoaxes and deliberately spread misinformation. They sent fake letters to newspapers, television stations, magazines, even Playboy, and promote made-up cover-ups, tinfoil hat theories, and fabricated clandestine events. These people challenged the facts regarding the rise of Hitler, the causes and effects of the Cold War, the unexpected death of an American president, elections all over the world, and the moon landing, which itself became a huge tinfoil hat theory.
2, 1, 0, all engines running. 1 or 2 inches. I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
In the 1970s, two Discordians named Robert Anton Wilson and Robert Shea turned these alleged imaginary tales into a science fiction trilogy called The Illuminatus. The books still have a cult following, and the books also made this new version of Illuminati more popular and a household name. H.P. Lovecraft once claimed, "No weird story can produce terror unless it is devised with all the care and verisimilitude of an actual hoax." Suppose the Discordians pulled this elaborate prank just for the fun of it and sold some fiction. If that's the case, then bravo! Or was it a massive cover-up to save the secret society from outright being exposed and stopping them in their tracks? I mean, who really knows? The New World Order. Could it be possible that the Illuminati is a red herring, a distraction, and the real New World Order is benefiting from it? On May 29, 1954, Prince Bernhard of Lippe-Biesterfeld invited world leaders and other prominent figures of the First World to Hotel de Bilderberg in Oosterbeek, the Netherlands. This was the foundation of the Bilderberg Group. The steering committee invites 120 to 150 people for an annual get-together. On the surface, the group claims transparency and publishes a list of the subjects to be discussed at the get-together that contains broad issues such as macroeconomic concerns, cybersecurity, geopolitical disputes, organizations causing violence in the name of liberty or religious expression, and who would win the Super Bowl. Okay, maybe not the Super Bowl. Its founders, including exiled Polish politician Josef Redinger, ex-Belgian Prime Minister Paul van Zeelen, and Paul Rekens. Former head of consumer goods giant Unilever, were concerned about a prevailing atmosphere of anti-American sentiment in post-war Europe.
1945. The war to end the tyranny was, like all wars, appallingly destructive. Then, as Western and Eastern armies neared each other across defeated Germany, the field radios crackled in English and Russian, louder, louder.
Meanwhile, the U.S. was enjoying a consumer boom while holding the fate of the recovering continent in its hands through the Marshall Plan. But despite their claim of transparency, there are no minutes taken in the meeting, and the outcomes of the discussion are never published publicly. People have accused them of working to impose pan-global fascism as well as totalitarian communism. Dennis Healey, former leader of the Labour Party of the UK, was on the steering committee of the Bilderberg Group for over 30 years, and he didn't deny that the idea and possibility of a one-world government had been an agenda among the group. When asked by journalist John Ronson in 2001, his words were, "Those of us in Bilderberg felt we couldn't go on forever fighting one another for nothing and killing people and rendering millions homeless. So we felt that a single community throughout the world would be a good thing." Interestingly, many people who are regulars on the guest list of the Bilderberg Group have also been accused of being in the Illuminati group too, like George Soros and Henry Kissinger, Helmut Kohl, Bill Clinton, and Bill Gates. So, could it be possible that the Illuminati and the Bilderberg Group are one and the same, Or is the Illuminati just a red herring? Historian Arthur David Aronovich, however, believes that the Bilderberg Group is only an ultra-elite supper club. For example, the reputed and ultra-wealthy family of Goldman Sachs, which has a huge impact on the American economy, also hails from Bavaria, where the Illuminati originated 3 centuries ago. The same has been speculated about the hedge fund genius George Soros, the Pritzker family, the Fisher family, and the Strauss & Company. The All-Seeing Eye. In 1800, the presidential elections in the United States were rocked by a scandal when the incumbent President John Adams accused his challenger Thomas Jefferson of being an Illuminati member. 2 years later, George Washington wrote a letter stating that the Illuminati threat had been avoided. Now, interestingly, George Washington was a known Freemason, and given that the Bavarian Illuminati's infiltration into the European Freemason Guild during the 18th century was well known by then, Washington's attempts to debunk the presence of a defunct European secret society inadvertently promoted panic and paranoia. Preachers in New England warned of plots to abolish Christianity in favor of godlessness and depravity. Another factor in play was that the Americans believed that the Illuminati was behind the French Revolution and the reign of terror that followed, and suspected the Illuminati might do something similar on this side of the Atlantic. Yet despite that air of fear, Thomas Jefferson easily defeated John Adams and became the 3rd president of the United States. In 1828, an anti-Masonic party came into existence with the sole policy of eradicating Freemasons from the U.S. Now, even though many of the founding fathers of the U.S. were Freemasons, and there is a strong theory that the floating eye on the dollar bill and the Great Seal, the Eye of Providence above a pyramid, come from Freemasonry, Freemasons became and remained a focal point of paranoia among Americans. The eye had been associated with the Illuminati as well. However, there is a sense of ignorance about the fact that the all-knowing eye was also a symbol of Christianity and could be observed in religious art of the Renaissance era. For example, in Pontormo's Supper at Amiens and many other art pieces, the eye represented the Christian God. The pyramid appeared to be linked with the religious motif of the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. The detached eye has also been observed in Egyptian reliefs, such as the Eye of Horus. The Bavarian Illuminati. 18th century German philosopher and thinker Adam Weishaupt may have been shocked and flabbergasted to learn what people consider the Illuminati to be in the modern-day age. Adam Weishaupt was born in a family of Jewish ancestry who turned to Christianity, but he spent most of his childhood with his uncle after being orphaned at a young age. Graduating from a Jesuit school, Weishaupt became a professor of natural and canon law at the University of Ingolstadt in Bavaria. It was a conventional enough career, and his compatriots had no idea that he was planning to turn the society on its head. Weishaupt was deeply influenced by the French Enlightenment philosophers and had a restless mind. Bavaria was a deeply conservative and Catholic society back then, and Weishaupt felt that religion and monarchy had become an obstacle in the path of humanity's progress. He felt the calling to find another form of illuminating the European population, which led him to Freemasons. Now, Freemasonry was gradually but consistently expanding throughout Europe during this period, and was becoming a recluse for the freethinkers. However, Weishaupt didn't see eye to eye with the Freemasons, and feeling moved by the esoteric themes such as Mystery of the Seven Sages of Memphis and Kabbalah, he formed his own secret society with 4 of his close friends. He wrote that he wasn't inherently against religion, but the prejudice and restraint on virtues that come along with it. The Order of Illuminati was represented by the Owl of Minerval, the symbol of wisdom, along with an emblem made of a dot within a circle that symbolized the all-seeing eye. But it didn't represent God, instead by a super illuminato watching over the lower ranks. The Creed of Illuminati. On the night of May 1, 1776, the founding members of the Illuminati met to conceive the secret society and establish the rules that would govern the order. All future candidates for admission required the existing members' consent, a strong reputation, social connections, and possibly wealth. Initially, the order had 3 levels of memberships: novices, minervals, and illuminated minervals. By 1782, the membership rose to 600, and in the following couple of years, the membership skyrocketed to 2,500. In the beginning, the Illuminati didn't trust anyone over the age of 30, and most members were seduced from the ranks of the Freemasons. These were the disgruntled youngsters who were feeling sidelined by the older members of Freemasonry. Baron Adolf von Knigge, literary legend Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, Johann Gottfried von Herder, and Friedrich Nicolai were the biggest names on the Illuminati roster and called themselves perfectibilists. Each member took a name derived from history and mythology. Weishaupt adopted the name Spartacus, drawing parallels with the gladiator who rebelled against the status quo in ancient Rome. Recruits had to supply the names of their ancestors, relations, friends, correspondents, and even enemies. They were then asked to recommend suggestions for people who could also be received into the order, like a pyramid scheme. They were also supposedly asked to sign an oath to uphold the society's goals upon the punishment of death. After being trained as novices for 3 years, the member would be asked to obey their superiors while having a drawn sword pointed at their breast. The 3 classes of membership are further bifurcated into 13 degrees of initiation. But this popularity brought fanaticism with it, and soon the members began treating Weishaupt like a messiah and began calling him the king. Weishaupt had become the very thing he had sworn to destroy. The fall of the Icarus. As the society grew, so did the ambitions of the founding fathers of the society, but not always in the same direction. The society was beginning to implode, as Massenhausen and Koenig ended up leaving, and according to government records, Franz Xavier von Zwack twisted the purpose of the society. The whistleblower happened to be Joseph Utschneider, a politician who was probably bullied by other Illuminati members and forced to spy on Duchess Maria Anna. But Joseph chose to expose the secret society to the Grand Duchess of Bavaria, which resulted in the Duke of Bavaria banning secret societies in 1785. In the course of carrying out arrests of members, it is said that Bavarian police found highly compromising documents, challenging the idea of sins in religion, a plan to create a female branch of the order, invisible ink recipes, and instructions for prohibited medical procedures. The evidence was used as a basis for accusing the order of conspiring against religion and the state. In August of 1787, the Duke Elector issued a third edict in which he confirmed that the order was prohibited and imposed the death penalty for membership. The damning evidence was reported to be found at the house of Franz Xavier von Zwack, who supposedly had documents enlisting the Illuminati's plan of world domination. Now, how true is that story? Well, your guess is as good as anybody else's. Weishaupt lost his post at the University of Ingolstadt and was banished. Weishaupt fled to Saxony to live the rest of his life in Gotha and wrote about the Illuminati and its philosophy while teaching the subject at the University of Göttingen. Bavaria declared that the Illuminati was dismantled after the crackdown, but over the years many authors have argued that the society never went extinct. It only chose to hide better. A century later, a druggist named Theodor Reuss and an actor named Leopold Engel tried to revive the defunct society, renaming it as the World League of Illuminati. But once again, internal conflicts never allowed this iteration to reach its full potential either. Thanks for watching Nutty History. If you'd like to support our effort, like and share the video, and subscribe to watch more nutty videos on human history.